A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answereth all things. There's so much fun stuff in the book of Ecclesiastes. That's what's great about wisdom. 3 things most forbidden in polite discussion is money, politics, and religion, probably because they're the most spiritual things we have. How can Christians better understand money without going the 3 most common and failed routes? Dave Ramsey's Money Management for Gummies, Joel Osteen, Give, You'll Get Prosperity nonsense of the backwards preacher who's biblically over yet biblically illiterate claims of you can't serve God and mammon. Do you think there needs to be a new, undiscovered approach that Christian West takes to money, or do we have one that secular people have simply discarded and simply needs to be polished up? Or do Christians need to learn something for once from the secularists? This is always a tough issue for me because I was very much raised be poor for Jesus, and I'm not poor. I eat every day. I've got gadgets around me. I have a new car that I bought this year, which is really cool, and I really like it. I like driving it. I've got a pension. My wife has a pension. We're not collecting them yet, but hopefully we will someday. So I'm really middle class. Money is a difficult thing, and Peterson said that often. Money is a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to do well with. And people who do well with their money, and when I say do well with their money, I don't just mean can accumulate a lot of it, but I mean can accumulate it and put it to good use that blesses the world. I think that's what money is for, but money is tricky. Money, part of the reason that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil is because money can very easily become idolatrous and God and mammon are sort of set side by side because they're sort of completely engrossing. And in some ways, secularism of the West worked so well for people with money and people with security, because so much of what drives us to God is desperation. And if you've got a lot of money, you don't feel a lot of desperation. But yet I noticed that people with money get themselves into trouble all the time. They can be just as miserable as people without money. Money is idolatrous because it can never fully deliver on what it lyingly promises. So most of us spend a lot of our lives just trying to deal with the challenge of money. And, Jesus, it's hard, So when Jesus is crucified, it isn't that he had nothing, because he had that one garment that the Roman soldiers who were plundering what he had left decided it wasn't worth cutting to divide, so they cast lots for it. So when Jesus was crucified, he didn't have a lot, but he did have something. And Jesus lived off of the generosity of a group of women. These women likely, it's so funny. We have these cultural, if you're a young, good-looking woman, it's not stupid to marry an old, wealthy man. I mean, we call it gold digging, but it's not stupid, because throughout history, there's been a lot of this. And you know what happens? Well, hopefully he's a good man and you can enjoy a few years of marriage with him. But when he dies, you get all his stuff. And throughout history, there have been, plus men have died in wars and men die earlier than women. Throughout history, there have been wealthy women who bless the world because they stay widows for a long time and they have all the money from the men who died. So these women cared for Jesus probably with the money from what their husbands left them. And in the, you look in the early modern period, there's all these wealthy widows who are in the salons in France. It's a funny dynamic. Men can't really play the same game because the sex differences between, let's say, an older woman and a younger man. Most older women will look at a younger man and say, yeah, you might have a romp with him, but you'd never want to marry him. But older men look at younger women and say, okay, I'll go, I'll do it. And they can. And out there, of course, there's going to be somebody who points out a really wonderful marriage between an older woman and a younger man, and that's totally cool. But I mean, life is like that. But it's funny business. I got here from money. There's been this mosquito in my office for 2 days, and I have yet to. Oh, I just got him. Good. So yeah, money's a difficult thing, and I'm by no means the best person to answer that question.